Yeah, Joe. Okay, go to D. Yeah. You're welcome.
he said, you're lucky you're even here, he said.
Why?
He says most of the time they cancel these flights.
Really? Oh, really?
This rain we had, he says, you're fortunate you're even here. Usually it's always canceled.
Oh my God, it must have been terrible, huh, Mark? I don't think we're gonna have a good day tomorrow. I don't want to.
He closed the door. He said, I just told him, you're lucky you're even here. He said, usually the rain. He said they had a tropical storm today, so he said, so they would cancel. Most people wouldn't make it. You already paid it. Yeah. Okay, so what do I lose?
It's $30 a person.
Nick, you're the man. You saved us.
Welcome to Fort Lauderdale, everybody. Here's your seatbelt right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks a million. I'll tell you.
Let me connect this again.
Glad we missed that storm. It made me feel better.
Like I said, a lot of people miss their flights today.
We were late. Late. I'll tell you one thing, that pilot did a great job. He didn't go real fast. No.
All right, Delray Beach, here we come.
Yeah. You know that?
Oh boy, what a day.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh my God. We've been doing
But like
this
I was
since
telling Joe,
7 a.m.
a lot of people miss their flights, so you consider yourself lucky.
I know.
A lot of people I had to refund money,
No kidding.
so meaning they never made it.
And I tell you, our pilot.
Or they're in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
They got stuck in Palm Beach, and I don't go up there for just because somebody's plane got
Yeah.
diverted to Palm Beach. I don't just automatically say, okay, I'll come get
Yeah.
you. Sometimes, but not often.
Our pilot took like an extra 25 minutes to even get us here. It had to be really bad. You know what I mean? Then we got a ton of turbulence coming
Yeah,
in.
it was a tropical storm. You see,
Yeah.
the sun should still be out right now.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's all overcast. It's
Tomorrow.
yesterday and today it rained all day, on and off.
Thanks. I wonder if Teddy's going to make it in.
But is it still continued tomorrow?
You over tomorrow, you think?
You know what? I don't know. I don't really check the weather because it really has nothing to do with me. I check the flights. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that matters. Because sometimes it's a really bad weather day and the flights do make it, and then sometimes it's nothing wrong and the flights don't make it. So I try not to judge what's going on by the weather. I just judge what's going on with the airlines. And they lie too. You know, they lie. So
Yeah.
you never know what their excuse is.
Well, we couldn't get to the gate. We sat there another half hour because the planes weren't allowed to leave the gate. Couldn't disembark anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you never know why. They don't tell you the truth, you know?
Yes.
They'll give you a reason to put you, so that way you don't go crazy asking questions. But really, most of the time, they're just telling you what they got to tell you just to calm you down. And they have their own reasons for not being on schedule.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. That's what I understand.
And then our luggage took forever.
One at a time.
Forever.
One at a time. Then shut it off. Then one at a time. I said, what the heck?
Well, it could be that they were looking at inside everyone's luggage. Could be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So you got to look at why things happen. If the luggage the luggage pickup area is not that busy, but yet the luggage is coming out slow, probably they're looking at everybody's luggage.
Why?
Well, it could be somebody said that somebody on that flight was carrying something. Maybe a dog sniffed something on your departure airport.
Oh.
And they don't know which bag it was, so they called up Fort Lauderdale and said that flight's got something on it. And now Fort Lauderdale decides whether they're going to engage or not. They could say, or Fort Lauderdale could say, you know what, it's not that busy today, let's check every bag.
No kidding.
You know, and then obviously they check the bag, they put it on the conveyor belt. They check the bag, they put it on the conveyor belt.
That must have been what was happening. Because that conveyor belt went around several times with nothing on.
Yeah,
or
well,
one or two.
they all take the bags off at the plane at the same speed. They throw them off, you know, and it's not it's not raining now, so it's not like the rain is all. They throw those bags off within 10 minutes of you landing. Those bags are already on its way. So it's only when they look through them and they're scrutinizing them that they trickle out little by little.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Joe, you didn't put anything in your bag.
Oh, I'll tell you
I'll
what.
tell you, Joe.
I should have put.
If we were held up because of you,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, normally what will happen is they'll put the whatever they find, they'll put it back in the bag.
Oh, and wait for somebody to pick it up.
And then once you pick that bag up, and then once you walk away from the public, then they'll engage you.
Yeah.
So you know they don't.
They don't want to make it
That's
safe.
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, I mean this is this is very professional. You know, these especially coming into South Florida. You know how many people try to sneak in marijuana in their suitcase?
Oh,
I mean half the country smokes, and now they're on vacation. And they're going on cruise ships, and you can't buy marijuana on the cruise ship, and they want to be high on the cruise ship. I mean, that's another thing. Smuggling it on the cruise ship is another story. But a lot of times they feel safer rather than trying to find it and buy it and get in trouble. They feel safer. They got to just put it in the suitcase. And a lot of times they have medical marijuana cards where they're allowed to smoke in Colorado and all these other places, but not here. You're not. You know.
So it's illegal here.
Well, yeah, but it's a fine line. I guess if they showed the medical marijuana from Colorado, and they probably would maybe give them a ticket. You know, they wouldn't take them to jail. But if you smuggled marijuana in your suitcase and you didn't have a medical marijuana card, they could take you to jail. In Fort Lauderdale, maybe not Miami. Miami's more lenient, but Fort Lauderdale's very strict. But if you had if you told them, well, I have anxiety, I have a medical marijuana card. I need this to function. I'm on vacation. They would say, okay, well, here's a ticket. You know, you have a civil ticket. You gotta pay it.
Wow.
So it could have been that. You know, could have been that.
Well, something happened.
Yeah, something happens.
Well, we made it. Now we need some sunshine. We're going to be happy campers for another. Is this your company?
I have 3 other partners. It's 4 guys. So yeah, it is my company, but literally everyone that drives, it's their company too.
Okay.
4 guys, it's all our company.
Well, it's good to know when we come down there. Whenever we come here in Lauderdale, whenever we'll get a hold of you.
Sure, appreciate the business.
Yeah.
You guys ever been to this hotel you go to?
Yeah.
Opal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. Have you ever been there?
No, I don't go up to Delray Beach very much. I mostly just go Fort Lauderdale to Miami.
I think we were here, 2 years ago or last year? I don't remember.
2 years ago.
What do you like? What do you like about it?
We like the location. We like the beach.
It's
we like-
because you can go to downtown
Yeah.
Delray also,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
happening over there. Atlantic Avenue, right?
Yeah.
All kind of great restaurants.
Yeah, Atlantic Avenue is like, Palm Beach has Worth Avenue, Delray has Atlantic Avenue, Fort Lauderdale has Las Olas Boulevard,
Yeah, right.
and then Miami has like Lincoln Road and
Yeah.
all these other stores. So yeah, every
Road,
city's
yeah.
got that street, and Atlantic Avenue is that street in Delray.
And I'll tell you something, there's some great restaurants on that street from our last experience.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a great restaurant on that street. And any of the streets I named, you have to have a great restaurant. Those restaurants don't own that land, right? They don't own it. They lease that property. So, you know how much that lease must be? If you're not packed on any of those streets,
You're in trouble.
yeah, I mean, it's a given that you have to be packed on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But if you're not like extremely busy on the weekdays, you can't pay your rent. So the restaurants that make it and that last and the ones that you love are because they're very busy. Because if it's not busy, no matter how good it is, it's going to go out of business. So it not only has to be great, it has to be busy.
Yeah.
No such thing as finding this great little restaurant that nobody knows. that doesn't happen down here.
Yeah.
The great restaurants, everyone knows about them because they need that business to, you know,
That
to.
makes total sense.
Yeah, that's the way it is in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, Boca. All the best restaurants everyone knows about because it's got to be packed for that business to stay in business. Yeah.
Are we going to?
the restaurant's been open, the better it is. That's how I look at it, right? It's the new restaurants, you know, guys come into town with millions of dollars and they want to open up a restaurant. It happens a lot, right? This town, everybody's coming from all over the world to open up restaurants. Are they the ones that are successful? Matter of fact, I'll let you guys in on something that I just figured out and just learned. There was a very wealthy Greek man that came to Fort Lauderdale, which is right pretty much where all those buildings are, and there's a big condo called the Omni Condominium. That's a brand new condo, and he leased the lobby to open up a restaurant called Salt 7, S-A-L-T 7, and it was packed, and it was an upscale place, and he wasn't paying his employees, he wasn't paying his rent, and they basically had to get the sheriff to kick him out. Then he filed for bankruptcy. So that's just another issue where someone came into this country, opened up a restaurant in a very prestigious location with tons of money, and just had it in his mind to defraud everyone. And he probably ate at that restaurant for a year or two for free every day, him and his friends, and the bartenders didn't get paid and nobody got paid. So that was just on the news last week.
Wow.
So thinking about, and it was a great restaurant. Everybody used to love to go there. So if you want to Google it and learn about it, it's called Salt 7 in Fort Lauderdale. You can say what happened to Salt 7 in Fort Lauderdale. It'll tell you that whole story. So it was a Greek shipping tycoon that came here. Yeah, and who was recently divorced in Greece. So he was recently divorced in Greece, took his money, opened up this restaurant after a couple of years, started not paying everybody, and that it takes a long time to get kicked out of a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, it takes like 6 months. So he was pocketing all the money, not paying rent. His rent must have been $25,000 a month. He wasn't paying rent for like, you know, almost a year, and he pocketed all that money, filed for bankruptcy, and then went back to Greece.
Yeah.
That was his. So
That was his whole plan.
and that was his plan, and that happens here a lot. A lot.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So when I said the longer the restaurant's been open, the better, chances are. Because the last 6 months he was open, he probably wasn't buying the best fish anymore. He probably wasn't buying the freshest stone crabs anymore. He was probably not, you know, doing the right thing with the liquor anymore, you know, because he knew he was going to be closing. And that's not good, right? You have to always think you want a company that cares about reviews and cares about repeat business. The last couple of months I heard this restaurant really went down and nobody really knew it except the employees. Yeah. Salt 7. It's in one of the biggest buildings right there. So there's another condo going up there with the cranes. Those are condos. So it's the blue one right there. That blue one that goes this way, that's the Omni condo. It opened about 3 years ago. It's in the lobby of that condominium. Yeah, Salt 7. It's not there anymore. It's still there, but they got like stickers on the windows, no trespassing. There's a lock on the door, you know, you can't get in. Because the bankruptcy trustees got to go in there now and sell everything and then give it to the people he owes money to.
So he'll get off scot-free?
He already left the country.
Yeah.
He filed for bankruptcy and then left the country. So now the bankruptcy trustee, say he owns like, you know, $5 million, the bankruptcy trustee has to go into that restaurant, sell all the kitchen equipment, sell the decor, the lighting, everything, give it to the creditors, and then that's it. Then the condo gets the property back to re-rent it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did the employees ever get paid?
No, the employees don't. They get paid last. All right, I gotta try to get into this express lane. This is the trickiest thing I do every day. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna be able to do it. Nice. Nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. Oh, no. Very good. If I didn't make that, boy, we would have been in this traffic for an hour. I feel very lucky to have been able to do that. Yeah. I mean, your vacation's late. You started your vacation late with all the drama, right? You gotta get there, right? See the rain? See all the rain?
Yeah, it's wet, man.
I told you, yeah.
And the roads get slippery.
Yeah, it rained all day.
This isn't the rainy season though, is it?
it's starting. Remember, the rainy season's the summer, right?
Yeah.
So this is literally our first rainstorm. Usually it happens in June, June, right? So it's May. So this is really the start.
So really early May.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to pin down Mother Nature, but this weather now, though it's very weird to see this much rain now, it's going to keep happening. Now that this rain happened, it's going to keep happening. Every couple of days, there was lightning. There was a lightning storm.
I know, we landed.
Yeah, there was, like I said, I had to refund money today. There was a lot of lightning storms in Miami. The planes weren't landing in Miami. It was worse in Miami than it was in Fort Lauderdale. Miami, they called it a tropical storm. Here, they called it a rain shower. But when it's a tropical storm, it's more dangerous. That means there's lightning and wind. And a bad tropical storm is a hurricane.
Yeah.
You know, if tropical storm gets intensified, it's a hurricane.
Wow. I hope we get, yeah.
There was no sun today at all. Matter of fact, the Miami Grand Prix was this weekend, and it got rained out. Not rained out, the cars had to race in the rain, and they all got smashed up. Because they race in the rain, and none of them, the track's only been open for 4 years, none of them ever raced it in the rain. They tried to race it in the rain, and half the cars all got smashed up.
Now, well, is there a chance of
Signal stored.
or no?
I mean, the sun's going in 2 hours, so it might, I'm sorry, the rain might clear up. I mean, as you can see, it's starting to clear up this way because we're going north. The storm was really down south. So we're getting the remnants of it in Fort Lauderdale, but I would think up north, we might, matter of fact, as we drive, I wouldn't be surprised if the streets start drying up because the storm was coming slowly this way. So we'll see. I mean, right now we're in Fort Lauderdale. Then we're going to go to, as we pass Boca, it might be dry, right? Because you guys are right after Boca. So we'll see. I think it will be more drier up north than it is in Miami.
Let's hope it goes this way.
Hopefully, I mean, that terrible weather. I mean, it's just, you know, 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 it's just,
I live in Fort Lauderdale, but I was born in New York.
Got that accent.
Where at? Brooklyn?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah, my son lives in Brooklyn.
What's that?
My son lives in Brooklyn, right by the Barclays Center.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that.
He's been there for years. He likes it.
I don't like it.
Here's the center.
I like Fort Lauderdale. I like Fort Lauderdale.
Well, I'll tell you, Lauderdale's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the best place in the world to live.
Well, I'll tell you, my daughter went to school at Nova Southeastern.
Yeah, I know that school.
So she went there for 2 years and 3 years. So we spent a lot of time in Lauderdale.
Yeah, I know. I spent some time at that school too.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I dated a girl that went to that school, and I used to live in the dorm with her and her girlfriends every now and then. So I spent some time in the dorms over there.
Oh, that was
Yeah, it's Fort Lauderdale, West Fort
great.
Lauderdale. That's Davy. That's Davy Fort
Yeah,
Lauderdale.
Davie, yeah.
There's the horses over there,
Yeah.
where she is. Yeah, it's like a little horse town, horse community.
No, I'm going to tell you something. Lauderdale is a one beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah, and we have the beach where you can drive right on the beach. You know.
Yeah.
You know, unlike Delray, where you can't even see the beach, like you could drive down Fort Lauderdale Beach, and it's like being in California on Pacific Coast Highway. You know, yeah, we don't have the mountains, but it's just beautiful. You're driving, and you know, people are swimming and on the sand, and you got the big restaurants and hotels, and they knock down all the crappy hotels. They knock down like the Howard Johnsons and the Motel 6 and the Holiday Inn, and now they got the Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, and the W there now. So
How long did you live here?
I moved here. I left New York in 1990 to go to school in Orlando, and after I finished school, I never went back to New York. I came to Fort Lauderdale, and I loved it so much. I loved Orlando when I went to school there, but compared to I loved Orlando compared to New York, but I loved Fort Lauderdale compared to Orlando.
Yeah.
So since I loved Orlando, I was going to say, I'm going to stay in Orlando. I love the school, and I love the area. And then I came to Fort Lauderdale for spring break, and I said, I love Fort Lauderdale better than Orlando.
When was that? What year was that?
1993.
Oh, okay.
I've been here since the early 90s.
And you know what? The funny thing was, here now I can't even tell you how far back this goes, but you know the Pelican Beach Resort?
Yeah.
That was a Best Western we stayed at.
Oh, yeah?
The last year before they tore it down.
And that's a rare property because that property's on the ocean.
Yeah.
And there's very few hotels in Fort Lauderdale that are actually on the ocean.
Yes.
One of the best ones is on the other side of the beach called the Marriott Harbor Beach.
Yeah.
And the
That's
Marriott,
her favorite.
that's one of my favorites
Yeah.
too. That's
Yeah.
Mr. Marriott's favorite.
Yeah.
JW Marriott. Yeah, they were gonna make it a JW Marriott.
Really?
Yeah, but Mr. Marriott's grandchildren say that was their grandfather's favorite hotel. It's on a huge piece of property on the beach,
Yeah, we're
and they
there.
and they got a convention center there.
Yeah.
People get married there. They got a little mall. That lobby's beautiful.
Yeah.
They always change it around. They put sushi restaurants in there, and
Oh,
then they got a downstairs with a little spa section. That hotel is amazing, and you know why it's amazing? Because it's so old, and it was built back in the day when somebody had a vision to take that giant property and build a giant, beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
Where now there's no property on the beach you could buy. First of all, they own that. The Marriott owns that property, which is very rare to own a giant piece of property. Fort Lauderdale sold it to them just to get them to start building that beach up, you know. And then after that, they learned, you know, we'll let some, you know, hotels go north of the beach and some will go south of the beach, but we got to leave the beach for our tourists, and that's what they did. So the Pelican was at the north end of the beach, which was the Best Western, and the Marriott Harbor Beach was one of the first hotels. Then they built like the Sheraton and the Yankee Trader and the Yankee Clipper, but they weren't really on the beach. They were on Ocean Drive, A1A. But yeah, that's why the Harbor Beach to me is unbelievable. Yeah. Well, the Pelican's very popular too. It's like literally almost $500 a night to stay at the Pelican.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
During the regular season, you know what it is? 800 a night.
Yeah. They built a lazy river pool there for the kids. So to me, it's very kid oriented because of that lazy river. I don't choose to go there, even though I love the hotel and I drop off passengers there. I don't choose to go there because of that. if I go stay somewhere, I want it to have a nice pool I can swim in. And that pool you really can't swim in. Yeah, it's made to just hang out in. I like to swim. All right, so it is rain. It did rain in Boca too. Yeah. So that shows you how big the storm was. From Miami to Boca.
That's a big storm.
Yeah.
We got friends coming in Friday, and they're renting a car. We're going to go back to the airport with them. Given he said we're going back Friday around flights at 2. Any suggestions, things to do about going back?
In Fort Lauderdale?
Go back to the airport. Anything we should avoid or worry about? Or
You mean you're driving from where I'm
From
Delray
Delray.
to the airport?
Yeah.
Well, just know that it's probably the safest. It's just I-95 is the most dangerous highway in America, and the distance between Palm Beach and Miami is the most dangerous part of. It's the most dangerous part of the highway. So it is very dangerous, but you just got to remember if you're going to get on the express lane or not. The GPS doesn't tell you. So if you get on the express lane and don't know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to get off. So the main thing is to know if you're going to get in that lane on the left. You know, it is safer, because there's less accidents there. But that's what I would suggest. If you're going to take the express lane, make sure you know what you're doing. You know.
what do you think of the traffic flow around, say, 11 o'clock in the morning? Would that be bad level?
No, it should take you no more than an hour.
Okay.
I mean, this is probably going to take me around 40 minutes maybe because of the way I drive.
Yeah.
But the average person, this would probably take an hour, this drive. But I always go a little faster than everybody else. But if you just stayed in traffic, this is like an hour drive. I'm probably going to do it in 45 minutes. So you just allocate an hour for your drive, maybe a little more because you don't know where you're going. You might want to stay in the slow lane. Remember, that's the slow lane.
Yeah.
Usually people drive faster in the left lane here. That's just the way it is. If you drive slow in this lane, people are going to flash their brights. They're going to cut you off. It becomes more dangerous. So just like the guy in front of me is going faster than everybody else, and I'm following him. If I was you, I'd stay like in the lane like that guy right there. Not even in the middle, just on the right. Not all the way on the right, because that one always turns off.
Okay.
But the second to the right, and just stay behind the guy in front of you. And you want to go to 595 East is where you're going to go. This highway goes right to the airport. You don't have to get off at the exit. But you do got to get off at 595 East, which is a highway that goes to the airport. So you're going to take I-95 south. You could take the express lane because the express lane goes to the airport too. You just got to know where to get off. But you'll be getting off at 595 East. Your GPS will show you. But yeah, I would allocate about an hour.
But you recommend don't use the express lane?
No, yes, you can use it. You just gotta be wary about where it is to get on, because obviously when you enter the highway, right?
Yeah.
You're not in the express lane, right? You got to be in the left lane to get in the express lane. But if you're going to drive in the left lane, you kind of want to keep up speed, because the people behind you are gonna try to get in front of you, and that's when they clip your bumper, and you'll get anxious, you'll get nervous. So to get into the express lane, it makes sense because the express lane's the fastest lane. So to get into that lane, you got to be in the regular 95 fast lane. You don't want to be in this lane and then try to get into that lane. So see, actually the express lane is going to end right up here. Sometimes it ends and then it starts again. It ends and it starts again. But yeah, you want to you want to get on the highway, stay in the left lane. When you see the entrance to the express lane, get in there, and then you're gonna follow that to 595 East, and that goes right to the airport. So you never have to hit a traffic light. Once you get on the highway, there's no traffic lights, and it goes right to the airport. So yeah. I don't know, since I don't come up here a lot, I don't know if I would have stayed in that express lane. I could have stayed in it because it opens up. I don't know I'm being weary because if I go in the express lane now, it might pass Atlantic, and I won't be able to get off. And then I have to go north and come back. So I learned my lesson a long time ago. I don't guess. And I don't know the express lane. It's probably going to start up again because it's stopped now. So there's no express lane. And then eventually it's going to start up again. And I don't know the express lane situation here in Palm Beach. I know it in Dayton, Broward, where I'm from. Here, I really only come up here. Like a lot of times I'll go to Palm Beach Airport and then I take the express lane because I know that gets off at PGA Boulevard, which is where the airport is.
So are we going south now?
No, we're going north. We're getting off right here, Atlantic Avenue, 3 miles. We're getting off at 3 miles we're getting off.
So the storm was all south.
Yes, but it is still wet here. It's not as wet, right? It's not as wet. So the storm was south, and it either was a giant storm that it rained everywhere at the same time, or it slowly went north. But it hasn't rained here in a while because the streets are pretty dry. If you see the line in the middle, see the street right now. The streets are dry, so you see some water over there, but it's not. You don't see any spray from the tires, so it's pretty dry. Yeah, it's pretty dry.
Lock out this signal stored.
As I stayed in the house.
You're not driving around this way?
Wow, look at this accident on the left. Car hit the wall. 2 cars hit the wall. I gotta sit through that now, and I'm gonna take A1A. See, this is what I look at, right? So instead of getting on that now, I know that the accident happened right after Atlantic, see? So if I'm not smart, I would have waited and got back on the highway and I would have been in that traffic, right? So what I'm gonna do is stay on Ocean Drive, right? And go south to Boca, right? Palmetto, Glades, and then I'll jump on it. I can even stay on it because I'm going home after this, and I live by the beach in Fort Lauderdale. I can stay on that A1A and go all the way to my house. It just kind of takes a long time with the stop and
It's
go.
not a bad way to go.
No, I mean, the highway doesn't have a lot of traffic now. It's Sunday. But I would have to get on that right now, you see? You know what I mean? I have to get on that to go back to Fort Lauderdale. But because I saw it, I know when I drop you off now to go to the beach. Well, you guys are staying on the beach, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically when I drop you off, I'm not going to come back down Atlantic. I'm just going to take A1A, it's called, right? Ocean Drive, A1A. I'm going to take that north, and that goes all the way, literally all the way to Miami. The only time it doesn't go to Miami is because
Lock out this signal stored.
when the cruise ships go out, right, in Fort Lauderdale, they don't make a bridge, right? So from Fort Lauderdale Beach, which is Port Everglades, where the Fort Lauderdale cruise ships go out, they actually stop the beach, and you got to go inland and then go around. So the only 2 times, actually the only time, there's only one place from here to Miami Beach that you can't go straight on that street. So basically I take this road all the way down, but if you notice, see that opening?
Oh, you can't go. Yeah.
Why
Cruise ship.
that's where the cruise ships go. And remember, in Miami it's the same thing, but Miami's all the way at the end anyway, right? It's at the end of the island, Miami. Miami's right here. So Miami is Miami Beach, so it doesn't matter, you know. Like here's where the cruise ships go out of Miami, right here. There's Port Miami right here. So the cruise ships go out right here. There's no reason for you to be down here anyway. It's at the end of Florida, really. So I can take, like we're going right here. We're here now. We're here
It's
now.
already.
Yeah, we're here now. I don't know why it's not updating. It's saying we're in Boca. I don't know why. Yeah, well, we're really up here. I don't know why it didn't update. But we're really right here. So I'm going to take all the way. I can take this all the way down to my house. I live right here. I live in Oakland Park, right by the beach. So I could take A1A. Otherwise, I got to go a little. I got to take the highway. But the highway, like I said, the highway's all backed up. So I'll be taking. You could take US 1 too, which is a street that goes all the way to Key West. Yeah, we're gonna pass that. So US 1, it's called Federal Highway US 1. It's called Biscayne Boulevard in Miami, and we're gonna pass it. It's a major street. And is this it right here? Is this Federal Highway? I think so. I think this is Federal. No, this isn't Federal. This is Swinton. I think Federal's next. Yeah, Federal's next. This is the downtown right here.
Yeah.
This is downtown Delray right here. This is the hot spot. As soon as you pass this, this is where all the restaurants and all the shops are right here. All right, we'll be there in 7 minutes.
Yeah. No, you did.
Promise?
Yep, 7 minutes. So it did rain here. It's wet, you see, but it's not. It's no puddles really. It's drying up. Yeah, it's all drying up now. It'll be dried in an hour. It's so humid.
What's
This
the
is popular
temperature?
here, Rocco's Tacos.
Yeah, we went here.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
great.
that's popular. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
popular.
very good.
Yeah.
I like tacos and I like this. It's good.
So that's Biscayne Boulevard. I'm gonna take that street down.
How long has Rocco's Tacos been here?
A long time, yeah.
Somebody told me you gotta see how long it's been.
No, it's been there a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Wow. It's probably hot than last night in Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always smoking. And then we ran over stone. Yeah. Shuttle.
There used to be a bar called Boston's here on the right. I wonder if it's still there. It's like a Jamaican reggae place. And there's a Marriott on the left, right?
That's us. It's now called Opal.
Oh, that's the Marriott?
That was the Marriott.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the. I stayed at that Marriott, and right here there used to be a place called Boston's right across the street from the Marriott. I remember had a reggae bar. It was very popular. It's like a beach bar, you know, because it's right on the beach, kind of.
Yeah.
So I know that was very popular too. I haven't been up here in several years.
Yeah, that years ago when we stayed here, it was a Marriott.
Yeah, I stayed. I stayed there maybe 5 years ago. When
That's
it was
about right.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were here?
Last year.
Oh, you went with Christy and
Yeah, just us guys.
France never did.
Yeah, but we came like in the spring, and then we were coming back in the fall. It's like that's the start.
I think I could go right in here. No?
No, I think you got to go around the front. If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Yeah, right around the front.
Oh wow, they changed it. This was Boston's right here. This corner place was Boston's, so it's not even a bar anymore. What is it? A restaurant?
It sounds like it. Huh? You're on Miami.
Wow, they made it upscale. It was like a dingy reggae bar.
Well, last time we were here, the guy said they poured so much money into this town. It's unbelievable. He said there's no, crazy, no riffraff. Is what he said.
Yeah, well there was never any riffraff here.
Nothing up here?
Delray Beach always had an upscale, good clientele. Always.
Yeah, we
Palm
felt-
Beach. Palm Beach, Boca, and Delray, yeah, there's no riffraff. The riffraff's kind of in Miami and a little bit in Fort Lauderdale, but mostly Miami. Here, there's no crime. It's a upper class, upper class people. People that are people that don't belong here stand out. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a hood. You know?
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, it's not.
That's what the guy told me.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just telling you, repeating. what he
Yeah,
told
you
me.
stand out. If you don't belong here, you stand out. That's really what it is. Because this is a very kind of a very high end clientele, and they all fit in.
I think the entrance is right here on the left side.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the beach.
Yeah, oh, that's not far. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
this
the
is
pool. Just
nice.
walk over there.
And our room's supposed to be right back. Well, pool, something. Yeah, that's what the rest
You did an outstanding job.
Yeah.
I'm glad it
Thank you
worked
so
out.
much.
Yeah.
Thanks for being so patient.
Oh no, I'm glad it worked out.
Thanks for all the info.
You're welcome.
Good man, I'll tell you. Like old. I'll tell you what.
I forgot. I'm the same way.
I'll take the seatbelts off. You guys could wait in the lobby if you want to put your luggage. Maybe I'll put it on my cart. I'll put the luggage on my cart or not. Alright, I'll put the luggage on the cart. I'll put you in the lobby. Alright, so I'll just go with you.
Yeah, tell Mark that. He gets his-
Alright, I'll meet you in the lobby.
All right, thanks.
That's how bad my day. That's how lazy I am.
be great. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bye.